My name is Linda. I am 32 years old. I am married to a wonderful man named Brian. He is 33 years old. We live in a small, beautiful house with a big garden. Our life was simple and quiet. I worked part-time at a local library. Brian worked for a big company in the city. His job required him to travel. Sometimes he would be gone for a few days, sometimes for a week. I missed him when he was away, but I trusted him completely. Why wouldn't I? He was the kindest man I knew. He always brought me a small gift when he came back from a trip. We talked about everything. I felt safe with him. I felt so loved. I thought we would grow old together in our beautiful house. I thought I knew everything about him. But I was wrong. I remember that night very clearly. It was a Friday. We were in bed. I was reading a book. Brian was already asleep. He was tired from a long day at work. I put my book down and turned off the light. I closed my eyes, ready to sleep. Then, his phone started ringing. It was strange. Why was it ringing so late? It was almost midnight. I thought, maybe it's an emergency from his office. I didn't want to wake him up. He looked so tired. I picked up the phone and saw an unknown number. Should I answer? Maybe it was important. I pressed the green button. "Hello," I said. There was no answer. Then, a woman's voice. She sounded scared, like she was crying. "Brian? Is that you, Brian?" she asked. Her voice was shaking. My heart began to beat fast. "No, this is his wife, Linda," I said. "He is sleeping. Is everything okay?" There was a pause. "His wife," she said. Her voice was full of confusion. Then it became serious again. "Please. I need to talk to him. It's Davis, our son. He has a very high fever. He's not waking up. The doctor said we need to go to the hospital right now. Please wake him up." I couldn't breathe. Our son, Davis? Who was Davis? We didn't have a son. We didn't have any children. I thought I must have heard her wrong. This must be a mistake. A terrible mistake. I think you have the wrong number," I said. "No," she said. "This is Brian's number. Is this not Brian Carter's phone?" "Yes, it is," I said. My hands were shaking. "Then please," she cried. "I don't know who you are, but I need my husband. My son needs his father. Please let me talk to him. My husband. Her husband. Our son." The words repeated in my mind. They didn't make sense. "Okay," I said. I don't know why I said it. I ended the call. I looked at the man sleeping next to me, my husband, Brian. He was still sleeping peacefully. He looked the same. But suddenly, he was a stranger. Who was this man? This man who had a son? This man who had another wife? Another life? I sat there for a long time. I couldn't move. I just stared at him. The man I loved. The man I trusted with my whole life. My perfect life was a lie. A big, ugly lie. Tears fell from my eyes. I remembered all the times he traveled for work. The late-night calls he took in another room. The times he looked worried. I always thought it was about his job. I never, ever thought anything was wrong. How could I have been so blind? So stupid? I knew I couldn't just sit there. I had to know. I needed to hear it from him. Brian, I said. Brian, wake up. He opened his eyes. He looked sleepy. Linda? What's wrong? Is everything okay? He asked. Your phone rang, I said. I answered it. His face changed a little. My phone? He asked. Who was it? Was it my boss? No, I said. It wasn't your boss. It was a woman. She said her name was... Wait. She didn't say her name. She said, your son is sick. Your son, Davis. She said they need to go to the hospital. She called you her husband. He looked scared. He didn't say anything. He just stared at me. Brian, I said. Who is Davis? Who is that woman? Linda. It must be a mistake. A wrong number. You were probably half asleep. Don't lie to me, I said. Don't you dare lie to me now. She knew your name. She knew your full name. She called you her husband. She said you have a son together. His eyes were full of guilt. He knew he couldn't lie anymore. Linda, he said. I am so sorry. I never wanted you to find out like this. Find out what? I asked, even though I already knew. I just needed to hear him say it. It's true, he said. I have another family. Her name is Adeline. Ann Davis. Davis is my son. He is 5 years old. The world stopped. My heart broke. It was real. My husband had another wife. And a child. 4 years, he had lived 2 lives. I couldn't speak. I just stared at him. How? I said. How could you do this? To me? To her. It's complicated, he said. Complicated. I said. You lied to me. Every single day. 4 years. You have a whole other family. That's not complicated, Brian. That's evil. He said, I met Adeline before I met you. It was a long time ago. We were together for a short time. Then we broke up. I moved to this city for work. A few months later, she called me. She told me she was pregnant. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I was young. I started sending her money. I went to visit sometimes. To see Davis. I wanted to be a father to him. But I was afraid. I didn't tell anyone. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my friends. Then I met you, Linda. And I fell in love with you. I really did. You are everything I ever wanted. You made me so happy. I wanted to build a real life with you. I thought I could protect you from it. Protect me? I said. You didn't protect me. You lied to me. You built our entire marriage on a lie. Our home. Our love. Was any of it real? Yes, he said. Everything with you was real, Linda. I love you. I love you more than anything. Adeline, that was a mistake I made long ago. You are my life. I laughed. Your life? What about her life? Does she know about me? Does she think she is your only wife? No, he said. She doesn't know about you. She thinks my work requires me to travel all the time. He had lied to both of us. He had two women who thought they were his only love. I thought about Adeline, the woman on the phone. She was worried about her sick child. And she was calling for her husband. A husband she shared with another woman. I felt sorry for her. "You need to go," I said. "What?" he asked. "Your son is sick, Brian," I said. "He needs his father. You need to go to them." "Linda, please," he said. "Don't do this. We can talk about this. We can fix this." "Fix this?" I said. "There is nothing to fix, Brian. It's broken. You broke it. Now go." He knew I was serious. He got out of bed, packed his clothes. His hands were shaking. He looked lost. "Linda, I am so sorry," he said again and again, his eyes full of tears. I said nothing. I just sat on the bed and watched him. He stood at the bedroom door and said, "I love you," one last time. Then he turned and left. I heard the front door open and close. And then there was only silence. I was alone. I cried and cried until I had no tears left. The first few days were a blur. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. How could I have been so stupid? I felt ashamed. Brian tried to call me a few times. He sent me long messages. He said he was staying at a hotel near Adeline's house. He said Davis was okay. It was just a bad virus. He said he missed me. He said he wanted to come home. He said he would leave Adeline and Davis. He would do anything to be with me again. I read his messages, but I couldn't trust anything he said anymore. How could he leave his son? He was a man who ran away from problems. I couldn't live like that. I couldn't be with a man I didn't respect, a man I couldn't trust. I made a decision. I sent him a message. "Don't come back, Brian. It's over." Then I blocked his number. I knew I had to cut him out of my life completely. The next few weeks were very hard. I was alone. I was heartbroken. And I also had money problems. The house was in Brian's name. He paid most of the bills. I only worked part-time. I didn't have much savings. How would I survive? How would I pay the rent? How would I buy food? I knew I had to leave the house. It wasn't my home anymore. I started looking for a small apartment to rent. I found a small one-room apartment. I needed a full-time job. The part-time library job was not enough. I started looking online. I found a job at a hospital. They needed a nurse. I applied and got it. One day, about 6 months after Brian left, I received a letter. It was from a lawyer. My heart began to beat fast. I opened it. It was a letter about our divorce. It was over. The end of our marriage. Now I was completely free. I signed the papers and sent them back. I thought about Brian. I wondered what happened to him, to Linda, to Davis. I hoped Brian was a good father to Davis. He had hurt so many people, including himself. One cold afternoon, I was walking home from work. As I turned a corner, I saw him. He was standing across the street, holding the hand of a small boy. The boy had blue eyes just like his father, Brian. It must be Davis. My heart stopped beating. I froze. Brian looked older and tired. Brian looked up then. He saw me. His eyes met mine. His face was full of sadness and guilt. We looked at each other for a long time. I gave him a small, sad smile. Then I turned and continued walking home. I didn't look back. It was over. And I was okay. The heartbreak didn't destroy me. It changed me. It made me stronger. If you are going through a hard time, please know this. You are not alone. It might feel like your world is broken, like the pain will never end, but you are much stronger than you think. Be kind to yourself. You can heal. You can build a new life. And you can find happiness again.